All right, welcome back, grade 9s. This is the last week of lines, so we will be covering a couple more examples of lines. Hi, Bella. So we'll be covering a couple more examples of lines and a few more ways of solving some problems that you might see and kind of cleaning up lines this week. And then hopefully by the end of this week, you feel pretty comfortable in lines. Next week, we'll do our last assessment. And then we've got to finish up the two main concepts that we haven't touched on yet. And we'll be done the course. So we're kind of zooming along here. And so this is a really important week. So I'm going to make 2 days available. So we'll go with Tuesday, Thursday. We'll go and have homework help, and I'll post that on the website so that you know what time it is at, and if you can get into one of those and ask any questions you have, or we can go discuss the stuff that we've been covering. Hopefully that'll get you ready for the final lines test. So let's get started and finish up. We only have a few questions to go, so let's start there. First example from Unit 5, Lesson 2, we're down to example, determine the equation of the line that has the same slope as y equals 8x minus 3 and passes through the point 3, negative 15. So in order to solve this problem, well, let's first look at the same equation we've been looking at for a while here. One that you should be very familiar with. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. We have an equation y equals 8x minus 3. Okay, so there's the specific one we have. And they want the same slope. So which one is the slope in this case? It is the 8. It's the m value. Okay, even if I had written this as y equals negative 3 plus 8x. Okay, if you see the equation written backwards or not in the correct order, you can move those around to make them the correct order and make it y equals mx plus b. But either way, the m is always the one that's right beside the x. It's kind of associated with the x, and it's a rate. So in our case, what we're looking for is a slope of 8. So y equals 8x plus b. That is our new equation. So there's our new equation. We're trying to find b, and we need to find a point to sub in to solve for b. Fortunately, the question says it has the same slope as y equals 8x minus 3 and passes through the point 3, negative 15. So 3 and negative 15. Right here, negative 15 and 3 are subbed into the equation that has the same slope as 8x minus 3. So same slope and sub in the point. Now you solve for b. So first you have to simplify. 8 times 3 is 24. So I just multiplied 8 times 3, got 24. Now I got to move that 24 to the other side of the equal sign. It's a positive 24, so I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides. And I end up with negative 39 equals b. Negative 39 equals b. I just subtracted 24 from both sides. So my new equation is y equals 8x minus 39. That is my new equation. It's an equation of the line has the same slope of y equals 8x minus 3, and it passes through the point 3 minus 15. So there's my first example. Next one is a very similar one, but just kind of changes it up a little bit. It says, determine the equation of the line that has the same slope as 2x minus 5y equals negative 9 and has the same y-intercept as 4x plus 3y equals negative 21. So it's giving me two standard form equations, which are not my favorite because I like y equals mx plus b. But I know that using algebra, I can transform them into the equation style that I like. And that's what I'm going to do. So the first equation is 2x minus 5y equals negative 9. I need to isolate y because I need to get y equals mx plus b, and y is by itself, so I need to isolate the y. So I have a 2x there. I need to subtract it from both sides. So there's my original equation. And I subtracted the 2x. Now what is being done to my y? I have a multiply by negative 5. To undo multiply by negative 5, you need to divide by negative 5. That'll get you y by itself, and the other side has to be divided by negative 5. So you end up with 2/5 x plus okay, just divided by negative 5 on both sides. I got my y by itself. And now I have a fraction for my slope, but that's fine because it's just rise over run. The fraction is the rise on the top and the run on the bottom. And then I have 1 4/5 or 9/5 as my y-intercept, which is what it is. It's not going to be pretty, but that's fine. So the question said, determine the equation of the line that has the same slope. So my same slope is my 2/5 x. That's 2/5 is my same slope. That's the part that I need, 2/5 x. That's going to be my new slope for this new equation. And has the same y-intercept as, and now we have a new equation to manipulate, 4x plus 3y equals negative 21. Okay, there's my new equation. 4x plus 3y equals negative 21. And we need to isolate again for y. Same process. So subtract the 4x. Subtract the 4x. You get 3y equals negative 4x minus 21. Okay, so there's where we're at. We subtracted the 4x from both sides. And now we have something being done to the y. It's a multiply by a positive 3, so let's divide by 3. And we get y equals negative 4/3 x minus 7. So divided by 3, everything on the top gets divided by 3. And there's my answer. So negative 7 is my y-intercept. So my new equation is y equals, and we had 2/5 x from the previous question, and then minus 7 from the current equation. So it wasn't really the other question, it was the other equation. And our final answer has the slope from the first equation, and it has the y-intercept of the second equation. So there's my final answer. for that one. So there was a couple standard form questions and manipulating equations. We're going to do another standard form next.